Yeah, when women call you a good man, I got bad news for you fellas. I got bad news for you. I hate to say it, but next we're going to talk about a girl talking about how she met her husband on a Christian dating app. This is an opportunist.
And on a Christian dating.
Christian men are like the most vulnerable group. Here we go.
I actually met my husband on a Christian dating app. I used to be so against dating apps. I wanted the typical rom-com story. Girl meets a guy. I wanted a beautiful story to share to family and friends of how I met my husband. I felt that going on a dating app just made me look desperate. So I just didn't want to try any kind of dating apps until a family friend sat me down and explained a couple of things to me that just made a lot of sense. She said, when you're in high school, your pool of people to choose from or to date, it's your classmates, it's the students. When you're in college, your pool expands. So, it's thousands and thousands of students in college. But as you get older, your pool starts to get smaller and smaller. Maybe your pool is in church. Maybe your pool becomes your workplace. As you get older, your pool begins to get smaller and smaller. So where do you go to meet other people your age that are single? You have to go where other singles your age are at. And in my case, I was in my early 30s. And she said, for you, they're online. And so that just made sense, right? I mean, it's nothing new, but it did make sense. So I tried several Christian dating apps, but there was one that I really liked, and this one made me feel safe. And I was on and off, for about 7 months until the end of April. I got a message from someone named Matt. We messaged for several days. By day 5, we had our first phone call. 2 months after that, we met for the first time in person. 3 months after that, he proposed.
God.
2 months after that, we got married.
You guys can't even wait like 6 months. God, these guys are desperate.
Next week, 3 years of marriage. We celebrate 3 years of marriage. Now, I know there are some gross people online on dating apps, even Christian dating apps. There are some good men too. Oh, and
yeah, when women call you a good man, I got bad news for you fellas. I got bad news for you. I hate to say it, but that basically means she sees you as a brother.
Dating app that I used, it's called Holy.
Oh, yeah. Poor Christian guys. They just become targets. We're going to do a call-in a little bit.
5 things I want you to think about before getting on the dating apps. Number 1, you still in a place or a season where you are surrounded by singles. Opportunities to meet people. It's so easy to want to get on the dating apps because we're lonely. In a season where you're 22 and you're surrounded by all these people at your church or where you're going about, you don't need a dating app. The point of the dating app is to find people because you're in an environment where there's no longer people to date. Get plugged into a church. Find a hobby where you know young adults are and chase after it. Number 2, if you got rejected by the boy you went on the date with from the apps, would your worth be shattered? Do not get on the apps until you are secure enough in who the Lord says about you, so that even if this boy is like, I don't want to date you again, you're not swayed, not affected, because your worth is not going up and down based on what he thinks about you. Number 3, invite your closest people in. Invite community in and ask them to speak in. You are not smart when it comes to wanting to date someone. They might be able to point out blind spots that you're not aware of. Ask people to say, am I spiritually, emotionally, and mentally able to handle the apps? Trust their wisdom.
Yeah, okay. So you got a woman trying to date like a teenager as an adult. When you bring in the community and stuff, that's cool if you're below. You guys got till the end of college to do that. But after then, you got to think for yourself, date for your... I mean, you can do what you want. Guys aren't really going to go for that. John says, Pearl, in New York, verbal abuse is illegal, so the best of luck enforcing boundaries, as emotional abuse can mean anything. For the poll, around 25 women are looking to settle.
Number 4, pray about it. Y'all, I literally did not get on the apps until, like a month and a half ago, and I legitimately was on the apps for 1 month, and I went on 3 dates. But I prayed about that for a while, and I never felt like the Lord said yes. And finally, I felt like he gave me the green light. Went on a few dates, and it was fine. But I was like, man, even if you don't like me, whatever. Also, I got on the apps when I was feeling the least confident in my body, because I was wanting to challenge myself and be like, I'm going to go on these dates and I'm going to be me. I'm going to pretend to be something that I'm not. I'm not going to arrive before I can date. I'm going in confident in who the Lord says about me, not on the way that I look. Number 5. Do not get on the dating apps if you are looking for validation or you're insecure. You go into a relationship insecure, you're going to be in a relationship insecure. No man, no relationship, no date will fix the God-shaped hole in your heart. Your security and confidence comes from the Lord. It will never be satisfied, even if you date the godliest, cutest guy on the dating apps. Dating apps, yes or no, be free.
Okay.
Here's the thing about I've recent history with women and that are Christian on dating apps. Women, by the time they're in their mid 30s, they're set in their ways, and you can see that their religion is one of the reasons why they're keeping them single. I met this Orthodox Christian Ethiopian girl. She was born in America, but she's culturally Ethiopian, and she was. Now, guys, I'm in my mid 40s. Okay, she was in her mid 30s, like 35, and she went to church on Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays, and went to Bible study on Monday. Right now, she's 35, had some BS degree in something that wasn't going to make her any money, and she fully expected to find a man to let her stay at home with children at 35. And then she expected the man to join her church because it was very important to her. So the man she was with would have to join her church, and she's 35, and put her in a position to stay home and raise children. First off, I don't have any kids. I don't want them, so we were automatically not compatible. But that's the experience of a lot of super religious women in their 30s. They have this expectation that you have to join their church, their religion, and the way that they see this whole God thing.
Well, it's super crazy because it's like Christian women don't think they have to do any work other than go to church. So she didn't have to get married and have kids to be a religious woman. She just had to show up to church and read her Bible. Like, that's kind of the bare minimum. Do you know what I mean? That's not,
yeah, because
it's not overly difficult to do.
Yeah, I asked her that. I said, if you're so dedicated to your church, how are you single?
What'd she say?
She had no answer. No real answer. I had to travel. I had school, all this stuff. But it's just like, now you value. I don't know. She didn't have a good answer for him. But she's holding every man she meets now to this high standard.
Yeah, they always think they can get what they could have got when they were 20.